So, before we get into it, this is The Last of Us Part 2 spoiler warning. And now we're into it. I finished playing yesterday, and emotions are just all over the damn place. In the beginning, first 15 minutes or so, they kill off Joel. And see a little backstory. I just got a PlayStation like that this past Christmas. The Christmas prior, whenever this video is being viewed. And it is July now. So I'm still new to I've seen some memes around, seen some gifs. I just thought that was like dude from Far Cry or something. That Nathan Drake dude, Drake Nate, whatever his name is. I ain't played that yet either. And I didn't know that was Joe I was watching. I've seen like he's kind of the mascot for the PlayStation 4. I didn't realize 3, whatever. I didn't realize that was Joe. And so I'm like going and now I'm seeing all this stuff. It's like, yo, this makes sense. It reminds me when I like first started watching Game of Thrones a couple years ago. All the memes and shit start making sense. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I played Last of Us the remastered June, and of course part 2 came out late June, and I'm just now finishing it because stuff and working and blah 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 life shit. And bruh, I almost didn't finish. And there's some people I know I work with that have finished. It was like, dude, you're gonna get to a point where first of all I was pissed off, like you didn't warn me, fool. You didn't warn me. And then they was like, yo, if you get to the part, at the time I was halfway. I was told, like, you get to this part where you're not gonna want to play anymore, but you got pushed through it because the story is like good. It's a conclusion, like it gets good. And I'm like, dude, I can't, because at one, like, you playing Ellie, you get revenge because they killed Joe, they killed my boy, and so the revenge you see, like she feels, you could tell she's taking shit too far, but she's also lost in revenge. Like it's taking a toll on her physically, it's taking a toll on her mentally, and but she's just focused on revenge, and I love it. And you sit there, you craft stuff, you scurry around, you stalk prey, and it's just a very strategic. You got to think it out to fight it out, and I love it. And then you come across Abby again, that's who killed Joe. Abby and a couple people that was there, and uh, and all of a sudden you are Abby. You see her growing up. You see her like with her friends. You see the different side of the group, because Ellie's group is more of like building stuff, making an actual community, trying to restore humanity. Abby's group is more of like the military, militia, and it shows in the different environments, the different people, like even just how they're sitting, how they're interacting with one another. There's like bullets laying around, but in Jackson, kids are having snowball fights, and like there's dancing and singing and all this. But in Abby's camp, there's just bullets lying around all over the place, a mess hall. It's like, yo, this is really thought out, and I love it. And so now you're going, and her whole thing is she's just living. Like she did what happened. She just living. She's fighting scars, uh, seraphites. They're basically just native people. Like they fight with bows and arrows mostly. They believe in like nature and all that stuff. Like I took it as they're indigenous people, just to how they kept making portraying them, like they live in wooden huts and tents, and like they forage from, they live off the land. Like they, I just took them as indigenous people, and Abby's people is the militia, military, trying to take over. They claimed they was trying to have peace. Come on. And so she's looking for Owen, who's a dude that was there, dude she grew up with, she liked, blah, blah, blah. And it's just the twist and turns from there. She meets this people from this opposite team, the Scars, this little boy girl. Not getting into that. It's not the place for that. This is not part of my channel. I have any problem with it. It was good for the story. Everything was great. The way they handle it is way better than a lot of movies handle it. The transgender topic, like they just talked about it, and they didn't overly explain. It didn't go into no deep lecture. It just was what it was, and I love when stuff is just what it is. Like when you try to make a statement, when you try to uh use this as a piece, a plot piece. Like, look at what I have in my movie, my TV show. I hate that. It doesn't feel natural. Even like if it's just a woman in the lead, if it's just a black person in the lead, I hate stuff that don't feel natural and just feels like this is all you have to push the plot forward. This is all you have to try to get a message across. I don't like being preached to. And I feel like when things like this, like Last of Us Part 2, take these topics on, I think they do it beautifully when it's just organically seamed into the story. Is not a pawn for because you ran out of ideas to talk about in your story, but whatever. And so she kind of defects from the group because she has a bond with these kids because you going through hell with them, and as you playing as Abby, it gets hard because you're fighting your people, you're fighting the enemy, and it's like, okay, these dudes have bows and arrows. They did nothing to me, and I'm just killing them. And it sucks. Like I'm playing like I don't want to do this anymore. It hurts. Like this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. But the best thing about Abby, she gets all the Joel weapons from the first game. She gets this little hand cannon that you put a scope on. She gets a god darn flamethrower. Flamethrower. And it's new and improved because the times, bruh. She gets pipe bombs. She gets a cross. I have fun with that crossbow. I'm gonna play again for that crossbow. To start from the beginning with that crossbow. Man, it was fun. It was fun playing her, dude. Um, but yeah, and then you start seeing like where Ellie was, like little things if you remember the story, where Ellie was, like stuff lined up. Like, oh, it's gonna get real. And then the conclusion was pretty good too. It's just she had to let that hurt go. She had to let that shit go. She lost a little more people on the way. She had a happy life with Dina, but Tommy came back, Joe's brother. Like, yo, we found her, bro. What you want to do? And then Dina was like, yo, I'm gonna leave you if you go. So, so she told her ass, you gotta do you gotta do what's best for you. Yo, Ellie cold blooded, and then you play as Ellie, and for the first time in what felt like a week for me, because the gaps between me playing and it's like, man, I miss Ellie. She moves faster. The crouching and movement is quicker. I miss thinking because you can get really used to because Abby, she's built. She's straightforward. You can get really used to plowing your way through people, plowing your way through infected. Man, you can get used to that real quick. And all your weapons, like, there's no match, it's no match for you. So now you Ellie again, and it's more of a challenge. So it's like, that's cool. I miss Ellie. I miss playing as Ellie. I'm trying to end this at least at the 10-minute mark. So like, there's this other group because there's always groups somewhere. And they captured Abby, but I gotta get her back. That's my kill. And so I do that, take them out, which was like funny. Like, yo, y'all get taken out by this person. It's crazy. And so I find Abby. She's like very much close to death. She lost all the weight. She has no more muscles, no more ponytail. And yeah, so we have one final fight. And then boom, you find some type of resolution. In the midst of almost getting her revenge, she see Joel like flash images, because before it was like bloody, dark, bloody. And then now she saw him, was like sitting on the guitar, sitting in the porch on the guitar. And it's like, damn, she has it. And somehow she was able to like cope with letting this hurt go, letting this piece go. It's like, that's not what he would have wanted for her. And it's just crazy. And then you see like over the course of her story, the different conversations that they had. It's like past timeline and leading up to the current story. And it's like, dude. And Dina left me. But the way the story is done is beautiful. I've said it to a few people. This is the best movie I've ever seen. One of the best movies I've ever seen. And it's a video game you get to play through. Like, how awesome is that? Like, it tells a complete story, and it doesn't sacrifice anything to tell their complete story. And it's done beautifully. This is one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. Like, this is up there to me with Legend of Zelda. This is amazing. This is one of the best games ever. And I don't care what anyone says. I know there's a lot of people get mad when you say Ocarina of Time is the best game, but it is. It's frustrating, but it's the best game. But man, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna play on plus mode. Just to be back in the game. Like, I miss it already. Such a beautiful game. Such a great story. I hope they figure out how to continue without making people wait 12 years, 12, 15 years. But Last of Us Part 2, this is my longest video. It's amazing. I skipped a lot of stuff here and there, but you got the overall gist of it. But man, Last of Us Part 2, if you don't know if you want to check it out, check it out. If you, it is kind of bloody. It is a lot of killings, a lot of deaths. You know, but it's not like these overly macho movies where they just do it just to do it. It serves a purpose. They're in your way. Damn it, they're in your way. But Last of Us Part 2, please play it. Please play it. It's already like that one of the highest grossing games of all time though. So I mean, if you don't, they're not hurting.